Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti, and I can't wait for you to hear all of the Great Girlfriend magic on today's show. So without further ado, grab something great to drink, grab your pen and your paper, and get ready for this week's episode.
Hey, great girlfriends. So happy to be here with you today. I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful kickoff to your morning or your afternoon, evening, whatever you've got going on. I love seeing all of your posts on Facebook and Instagram. So thank you for tagging the great girlfriends and inviting us to journey through your friend experiences. Real talk, I have a little FOMO when I see everybody outside, and I'm like, I want to be outside. I want to go to all these amazing cities and have fun with you all, but I can't be everywhere doing all the things. So I just love seeing, the wine dates, the dinners, the hangouts, the trips, all the things. So thank you for tagging us. Thank you for sharing with the community. And I want to shout out our Facebook group, 21,000 women that are hanging out there on a regular basis, having conversation about very challenging things in friendships, life, transformations, changes, support, cheering each other forward, and building real relationships. And I think it's so important that, we meet in these communities, but that you do dive in and like get to know people and enjoy the company of other women around the world. And it's really great because I'll get a tag or a text or something from great girlfriends who met in the Facebook group, who travel together. They're hanging out, they're doing business, they're doing all the things. It like makes my heart so happy. If you don't know me personally, you may not know this. I am a big connector. I love to see people connect. And I like to see them build bridges, excuse me, and just be happy together. And I don't have to be at all the things, but I like to see it so I can cheer. So I just want to thank you for like continuing to create those connections and sparking sunshine in my life. In my life. So good. I also want to thank my LA community for being such an incredible blessing to myself and my family in the almost 4 years that we've been here. Whoa, that time went fast. If you've been listening over the past 4 years, you remember me saying, or even beyond the 4 years, you remember me talking about the potential of a move. And then you remember COVID hitting, and you remember my father getting sick, and you remember me moving to Memphis to be with our my father until he passed. And then you remember us staying in Memphis for a little while longer until we made our move to LA. And all of that was just a lot. It was a lot. So being here, I felt like God sent us the right community of people to help us be loved and to heal from the grief and be empowered and plugged in and just nurtured in the right ways. I am guilty, and I have said this on multiple episodes, of grieving my New York, New Jersey life because I loved it there. There wasn't anything missing. But what I kept hearing over and over and over is that God was doing a new thing and that I had to be excited about the new thing. And so for me, being excited about the new thing didn't mean that I couldn't be excited about what I've always had, which is great friendship and connection and community. I just need to be excited about the new thing too. So there is room. And it's almost the equivalent of if you have children, I have two, you have your first child and you give your whole heart. You're like, there is nothing more meaningful, significant, and valuable than this child, this one. Then you have two, and you're like, do I have the capacity to love two kids with this much volume? And the answer is yes, because it is just an extension. Your heart gets expanded and you grow in ways that you didn't imagine. And for those of you who got two, three, four, five kids, whoa, because I'm doing my job with two. I'm giving like 200% to two children, and I feel like that's a lot. So those of you that are able to do it across like anything more than that, I'm like, oh, and we got a dog who needs a lot of love. So you obviously know we're busy. But it's that same feeling of being able to love abundantly and immensely two worlds at the same time and honor them both. And so I want to say that because people have asked me, how is community in LA? I've heard all the things. Child, please. LA has some amazing, amazing leaders, community advocates, champions, moms, dads, all the things. I have a great church home, California Worship Center. I love my church home. I'm obsessed with it. I have a great school community for both children, two different schools, which I won't name, but I love both of my school communities. And in my neighborhood, I love my neighborhood. There's a new park in my neighborhood. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. So I'm just saying that to say, um, you know, All is well. Community is wherever you plant yourself and you build community and connection, right? So I want you to know that. I also want you to jump in the Facebook group and get active. Get to know people, say who wants to go outside, who wants to go to the museum, anybody want to go have a drink, anybody want to eat, anybody want to pray together. All the things are happening. And then I want you to save September 26th. It's a very important date. I have whispered about it. I have chattered about it. I have talked about it sort of quietly and aloud. I want you to be prepared to be in LA September 26th. Something great is happening. Okay. I'm already married, so I'm not getting married. I'm not having any more kids. That's not happening. Something great is happening for us, the Great Girlfriends community, and I want you to be a part of it. So you gotta want to be there. The hint that I'm going to give you is it starts with friend and it ends with fest. That's all I can say. Can't give you any more. If you can't figure that out, I don't know what to say to you. I don't even know what to say if you can't figure that out. All right, today. I want to talk to you about this piece because I have talked about community so aggressively and in social. Shout out to Tyler who's been planting all of our great social media messages. We've been talking about these core elements that you need in friendship: how to apologize, how to love, how to say hi, how to say bye, how to have the right circle. So we're talking about the six type of friends that you need in your community, in your life in 2025. So many of you have DM'd and have asked and have said, how do I create a circle? It comes easy for some of us, right? I will tell you, it possibly comes easier for me because I was born into sisterhood and friendship because I have two older sisters. I have two older brothers as well. But being born into a girl tribe, I kind of, it's organic for me to tribe up, right? And it's organic. It's also organic for me to be accepting of different types of women because I have a trillion cousins. I have a trillion women in my life. My mother has sisters. So I watched and witnessed women navigate friendship and nuance of relationship my entire life. And they weren't all the same. There were different types of women who loved each other, who bonded, and who decided to do life together. I also have the extreme privilege of watching my mother at 81 have the best friendships. Whoa. I could not honor this more. My mother has the most incredible friends. I won't even name them all. There's too many to name. At 81, my mother lives and she's embedded in an amazing girlfriend community. They do all the things. They had a slumber party for her 81st birthday, y'all. Come on. That's like, if you're not doing that, what are you doing? So I'm seeing that, and I'm seeing the longevity and the livelihood that you can have when you have the right women in your circle. So many of us are navigating life, and we got women in our circle, but we don't have the ones that are really gonna be the boom pop, like who really gonna like give you the reinforcement of God in your life. That's what the right women can actually do for you. Some of us have tribed up with people that we've known forever. They live down the street. These are convenient friendships. These are friendships we inherited from a job before, or high school, or college, and we've just been together because we known each other for all these years, and we are who we are. They are safe friendships, but they are not necessarily the friendships that are essential to where you are right now, where you need to be. And what I have said over the past 10 years of this podcast, come on, 10 years, what I have said for the past 10 years is that your proximity needs to be valuable. It has to be the most valuable thing that you honor in your life. It should be hard to get close to you because you have really protected your standards and your boundaries. So it shouldn't be easy for people to just climb into bed with you and just snuggle up with you and call you bestie and call you friend. There should be some criteria, right? And so I want to give you this, these six friends you need in 2025 because I want you to be able to tribe up respectfully and responsibly. You know how they tell you when you're drinking, all the signs say drink responsibly. I want you to friend responsibly. That's what I want. All right. All right, so here we go. You gotta do an audit. You gotta do an audit. I hope you have your pen and paper, by the way. You've got to do an audit. You got to take stock. Think about your top five friends right now. I want you to look at your top five. Most of you can go bam, 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 and bam. Are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Hello? Pushing you forward or holding you back? Do they bring drama or do they bring peace? Are you hiding parts of yourself around them or do they let you be the full expression of you? We should never have to hide in our friendships for fear that we're going to make someone uncomfortable. Like that is not where you want to be in relationship. That's not where vulnerability is honored. It's not birth there, it won't thrive there. So this is a stat from Jim Rohn, but I want you to have this. You are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. And we've heard it, we say it, we quote it, but do we activate it? Do we activate it? Right? That needs to make you tighten up your squad. Like you want to get your great girlfriends nice and tight because you recognize, like, okay, these people, um, kind of give me a mirror into my future, my present and my future. Do I want to look like them? Do I want to have what they have? Do I want to reflect their values tomorrow? Do I want to make my decisions based off of things that I've learned from these people? You ask yourself that. So, you need to take stock of your circle. You got to take inventory. You have to ask yourself those questions. And, you know, if you have to start from scratch, it's okay. Because I promise you, God will replenish whatever has been missing, broken, or lost in your life. So you never have to worry about whether or not you are worthy of friendship and whether or not you can replenish your circle. You can. This episode's going to help you learn how. Okay. So the dream pusher, that's the number one. This is the friend who sees the greatness in you, even when you're sitting in your sweats eating leftover pizza. They're like, all right, I see you having a leftover pizza tonight. You can't have it every day, but I see you having it tonight. And they're the ones that are like, why not you, friend? Why can't you be the one to do this extraordinary thing that you have been talking about or you believe in, right? They'll DM you the job listings. They'll sign up for the half marathon with you. You'll talk about your wild dreams, and they're like, I see that. I can see you doing that, right? And they're the ones that help you kind of figure out how to make it happen one way or the other. Maybe they're tying your shoelaces for the marathon. Maybe they're running it with you. Maybe they're sponsoring you. Maybe they're there with pom-poms and flags and a banner. But they remind you that 24 hours, your 24 hours will are filled with possibility. Like they're like, go, friend, go. Like they're just there. Like, and you can almost hear their whisper when they're not around. I have the best girlfriends. I can hear their whispers when I'm not around. I can hear them saying, girl, you better get up. Girl, I got you. Girl, is that the best choice? Girl, I see you. Like I can hear them when I'm not around. How powerful is that, right? Because their perception of me, their belief in me lives on the inside of me. That's what you need. That is going to be your dream pusher. That's number one. So you have to ask this question. Do I have someone in my life who believes in me more than I believe in myself? I have like so many people that when I've said to them, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, they're like, stop it. Stop it now. You absolutely can and you will. And I'm like, okay, friend, okay, let me get out, let me get out. But I have those people. So do you have people in your life that will sometimes have more belief in you than you have in yourself? I see my husband has those. I see my kids have them. It is just like the most spirited space to be in. So here's your action tip. If you don't have a dream pusher, you want to start calling one in one by one. You want to pray for them. Cheer someone on today loudly and unapologetically. Do for someone else what you want done for you. Get the pom poms in your hand and be somebody else's dream pusher. And watch how you are calling in the ones who will do the same thing for you. One of my great girlfriends said to me, you do a great job of adoring and really being affectionate towards your friends. And I'm like, because I am actually so excited when any one of you does something amazing that I always knew you wanted to do or that I believed was on the inside of you. Like, I am like spirited about it. And so, because I think that's part of my DNA and I have been intentional about that, it has been returned to me in the same way. So, I want to encourage you to do that. All right. Number two, so you got your dream pusher. Number two is your accountability partner, right? That's the one that's not going to sugarcoat it for you. That accountability partner, ooh, sometimes you don't even want to call them because they don't sugarcoat things. There's no gloss on it. It's not pretty. Let's be real. Sometimes you don't even like them. You be like, oh, I can't stand her, but I love her so much because what? They don't care how you feel. They care about where you're going. They love you enough to call you out. They love you enough to keep it 100. They love you enough to protect you from you. Come on. We have all needed that from time to time. I remember in January, I'm going back to another episode I recorded about this, but I was eliminating myself from all the outside activity. I was like, I can't go. I'm too stressed. Life is too hard. I got too many things going on right now. I am not a candidate for outside. And one of my great girlfriends said, you absolutely are not too heavy. And I promise you right now, you need to stop eliminating yourself because that is not who you are. Like she set me straight in such a way that I was like, she's right. How did I let this monkey get on my back and not toss it off? Right. And she kept it 100 for me. And then she was like, I want you to stop that negative self-talk. I want you to get out of that. I want you to stop looking outside those fires. I want you to close the blinds. I want you to get locked in and get focused because this is not the best version of you. And I had to accept that. And I didn't like her, but I loved her because she respects me for who I am and where I'm going. She was protecting my vision, my legacy, the best version of me. That was who she was called to be in that hour. And so that's what the accountability partner does for you. They're the ones who'll text, did you really need that $14 latte? Friend, I see you taking flights. Does that match? I know you mentioned that budget. I see you moving on stuff, but are you keeping up with the stuff you said you were gonna do? Or friend, you talked about that weight loss, but I'm not seeing any action. What's the deal? So they're like, they're the ones that don't sugarcoat. That's not what they're here for. They're here to help you become the best version of you. So in your life, you ponder this. Who in my life keeps me honest even when it's uncomfortable? Who is that? Who are they? And it might be a one, it might be a two, it might be a three, but you want to know who they are and you want to assign that accountability partner to them because they are the ones that help to sharpen you in the most uncomfortable moments in your life. And then here's your action tip. Share your big goals with your accountability partner. Today, I want you to send them this episode and be like, girl, we need to have a talk because I realize who you are to me and I need to share this goal with you because I need to set direction for this. And give them permission to check you when you're slacking. We have something really cool going on between me and my two sisters, Minthia, my big sisters, Minthia and Leslie, my girl besties, my tribe. Every Sunday, we're on Zoom for an hour. And we're talking through some of the next steps and goals that we have in place for this year. And we're moving on them, y'all. It has been wonderful. So I'm just saying, be accountable. Number three is that energy charger. That's the one to show up and suddenly the room feels brighter. I'm kind of sort of that person many other times, not all the times, but many other times. I have the big laugh, right? And, I want to charge and challenge and love you with, but I want to do it in the nicest loving way. I'm gonna say the nicest, the kindest loving way. So the energy charger is that one. They show up and they just bring this brightness to the dark spaces, right? They're like, girl, turn the light on. Let me help you turn the light on. Here's how we up the wattage. Here's how we supercharge you. Here's how we resurrect the best parts of you, right? So, and it's in a hugging and loving way. So if they were a snack, they'd be a double shot of espresso with a side of gummy bears, pure energy and sweetness. I like to call myself the pink Skittle. Sometimes they're or the pink Starburst. They are normally like the pink Starburst, right? So you want to ask yourself this question. Who leaves me feeling lighter and not drained? Plain and simple. Who leaves me feeling lighter? Who doesn't drain me? That's the energy charger. And it's crazy because, even when I'm going through difficult moments, people are like, thank you for the brightness. And I'm like, but I'm so low right now. The energy charger doesn't even realize the impact of their wattage. Even the darkness is still bright with the energy charger because they have a light that is consistently illuminating from the inside out. So, what a lot of times the energy charger might feel like I'm too depleted to be the energy charger, you are the energy charger because that is who you are. It's not because you are feeling the brightest on any particular day. It's because it's in your inner being to be that to the world. So you will always have an ounce, a dose of that you bring to every room, and it's sufficient enough for you to show up with that character alive in you. So here's your action tip for your energy charger. Schedule a coffee or a FaceTime date with your energy charger. Let their vibe recharge your batteries. It's okay to say, friend, I need you to put an extra battery in my battery pack right now, right? Because the energy charge is like, bet, let's go. What we doing? How we doing it? Boom. Okay. Next, number four is the wise soul. This is the friend who speaks in proverbs and always seems like they just finished reading a self-help book. Oh my gosh, I have so many of these. They're sage. They are just They are soul food. They're the Maya Angelou to your spirit. They're the Oprah to your ear. They are just a warm pillow, warm blanket and a soft pillow. I know you have them. I have them. And for years I had virtual versions of those, that I was like, "Oh my goodness, this person is a friend in my head." And then I got to a certain space in life where I felt like I had them in my corner. Like I have friends I can just lean into, and they have these amazing quotes and proverbs, and they mean everything, and I appreciate them. So they're the ones who say things like this: "The obstacle is the way." And you're like, "Okay, Marcus Aurelius." But can you just tell me what to do? So here's the catch. Sometimes I feel like I play wise soul, but I'm not as deep as some of these other wise souls because I am pretty funny on the other side of it. Like I realize when I'm going too far in the deep, but I also realize that I have a quote on my spirit at all times. And normally it's like scripturally based. So, you want to have the wise soul in your corner. You want to have the proverbs, and you want to have the one who is constantly doing the self-help books because they're able to say, "Oh girl, I just read this book by Dr. Anita Phillips called The Garden Within. Have you read it? Chapter 7, I'm learning how to bam, bam, bam." Okay. You want to have that, or you might want to be that. So here's the question to ponder right now. Who in my life brings clarity when I'm in chaos? Who in my life brings clarity when I'm in chaos? And here's your action tip. The next time life feels really messy, call them. Call your wise soul instead of spiraling alone. Call them. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. They will pull you out of the weeds. Trust me. They will pull you out of the weeds. I don't even have to make this call, but every time I look at Mickey Taylor, I feel the spirit of God and peace and wisdom moving through her and touching me. It's almost like I can feel and hear what she's about to say. There is this calm that she brings to me without even saying a word. And she reinforces wisdom. And she doesn't tell you to do anything. She pulls out of you what is already there, and she gives you the courage to do so. That's the wisdom of her soul. And that is Mickey Taylor. And I just had to say that out loud because I just love her. I love her. Number 5, the ride or die. The ride or die. You got to have your ride or die. You got to have the one that's in the car. This is the friend that is basically your personal SWAT team. They're like a gatekeeper. They're ready to show up at a moment's notice, no questions asked. They're like, who is it? Where is it? What? They have that what spirit. They don't want you almost like, I can't call her yet because I know if I call her, she's in the car. I got to call her after I calm down and figure out what I'm really mad about. That's the ride or die. That's the one. So if you're burying a metaphorical or actual body at midnight, that's the one you're calling, right? Or if you realize that somebody has done you dirty and you're like, that's the one you're calling. You don't want to call, but you're like, oh my goodness, I need to have a talk with this one. And they don't talk, they just pull up. But then you're like, don't pull up, friend. I just needed to tell you. They're like your muscle. So here's the question to ponder. Who has been my constant no matter what life has thrown at me, ride or die? Who's just been there? Who's just like, girl, I'm there. What you say, what you gotta do, what you gotta, what we doing? I'm there. Who has been there for you? And then, you know what? When you recognize who she is, text her and just say, thank you for always being you. Thank you. Thank you for that pull-up spirit, girl. You got that SWAT spirit, and I thank you. They probably will respond with something sarcastic or something like, girl, bye. But it will mean the world to them to know that you recognize the energy that they're putting towards being available and present for you. Okay? And then, all right, this is your homework. This is your homework. You ready? You have a dream team lineup. Here's your homework. Do a friendship audit. Are the roles filled? If not, it's time to start expanding your circle. The roles need to be filled. And if it's not, expand your circle. Be intentional. Friendships don't grow by accident, they are planned. You got to check in, you got to show up, invest in these friendships. Give what you have to give and know that what you have to give is enough. But don't be casual about loving people. Love is not casual, love is intentional. Okay. And then last, play your part. Ask yourself, what role am I playing for the people I love? You might find that there's different parts of you that's available to different people that come alive in friendship. There's a DNA, there's one thread of consistency, but then there's facets of the way you handle yourself. You might nuance because you realize in this relationship, I'm meant to be this to this person. I realize I accommodate this in this person. For my sisters, my blood sisters, the ride or die in me is like, yeah, no, I'm there. right? So you have to realize that and acknowledge that and be willing to own that, and adjust it when you see that there's changes that you want to make. But you also want to have clarity on who these people are to you and who you are to them. So I want to tell you that great friendships are not found. They are built, they are cultivated, they are nourished, right? And this year and every single year, you need to build circles that empower you to be the best version of yourself. Okay? Remember that. You don't need 100 friends. You just need the right ones. And I've given you a list of the roles that are essential to your lifestyle here in, this year, but you just need the right ones at the right time. And may you be blessed to find, have, and hold those friendships forever, right? I love you so much. Remember, save the date, September 26th. There is something special happening. Hint, it starts with friend. It ends with fest. If you can't figure that out, I really don't know what to say to you. Leave your iTunes review. Share this episode with a great girlfriend. Please share, please share, please, 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 please share, and then share again. And thank you for listening. Peace.
All right, great girlfriends, did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast and the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group at The Great Girlfriends, follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends, and on Twitter at _great GFS. I'm Sibylla Muti, and I'm out. Peace.